How's it going, everybody? Star Wars Talks here. So, if you haven't heard about the Star Wars theory situation with Molly Damon and her husband over at Star Wars Explained, they're essentially trying to get him demonetized, and this has been blown up. It's an insane situation, and it's really not good for anybody involved. And I kind of want to talk about it and to watch Star Wars Theory's video on the YouTube response and the Star Wars Explained response, and just talk about it a little bit.
Hey guys, so YouTube has responded along with Molly Damon and Stupendous Wave, Eckhart's Ladder, a lot of other people, and we're going to get into it today, and this will hopefully be the last video, but if I need to make more, I got no reservations.
My trick's gonna work, gonna make only money.
Thanks for reaching out, YouTube says. Just heard back and confirmed that this content is not violative and will remain up. We totally understand you may not agree with this decision, but we reviewed this video very carefully against our policies.
That's huge.
Shut your brain ass up.
It's actually huge.
9.6 million views. Imagine how many people in and outside of the Star Wars community saw this. 9.6 million. Wild. And all...
Well, when you're talking about demonetization and kind of deplatforming people that are big creators in the space, this is what happens. It blows up, and a lot of people show their support.
all through a coordinated attack on me and my fellow peers who disliked The Acolyte by rewriting Ripley Pod, Molly Damon, Star Wars Explained, and so many other people. They wanted to take the food out of our mouth. They wanted to destroy our livelihoods. I help my family out, man. I'm sure a lot of my friends
that's a big
who have
aspect of it.
platforms, they do a lot of other things with their money for their families. They tried to take that completely away by a mass coordinated attack to tell YouTube that we are racists and bigots and that the Star Wars community is tired of us.
I am the Senate.
I kind of feel like they have a different idea of what the Star Wars fandom really is and who they really are, but
They definitely
let's
do.
let that one slide. If you want to go and see more stuff,
In general, the Star Wars universe has many different types of fans. There's no one side of fans. It's not divided in half. It's a plethora of many different types of fans. We're all scattered in the mix there somewhere. So, in terms of people not liking The Acolyte and certain shows, there is going to be kind of a divided fan base. There's going to be people that like it. There's going to be people that don't. But in terms of Star Wars fans as a whole, we're all kind of scattered within there. So obviously there's going to be people that don't like Star Wars theory. But even if you don't like the guy, it's not a good enough reason to kind of try to deplatform him and demonetize him in a sense too. And I think what they thought was, we'll demonetize him and then his love for Star Wars will go away. He'll never make videos again. But if there's anything we know about Star Wars theory, if he made no money off of it, he's still going to be posting videos quite often. So I don't think money is a big factor here. The dude's rich. We already all knew that.
you can go to my Twitter or my X at RealSWTheory and see for yourself, as there are. We got everybody coming in here. It's a good time. We got Stupendous Wave
Great scene from
chiming
Star Wars,
in.
by the way.
We got Eckhart's Ladder. We got some DMs that are like people that were friends with Alex and Molly for years that apparently got shunned by them for various reasons, horrible reasons, have released some messages to me because they're like, these guys suck. We really
I
don't
saw
like
these
them."
messages.
I
These
was
were
like, "Oh,
insane
I'll
to
take
me.
these screenshots. I'll check them out. So it just
He's essentially saying he really likes Star Wars theory now after talking to him, but used to talk so much shit about him, and that he really respects him and all that after meeting him. It's actually crazy to read this.
reinforces more of what I was saying and the stuff that I've been dealing with for the last 8 years from these people, which I haven't said anything. Even when, Alex was doing his This Week in Clickbait and all that stuff and just sending attacks to my channel, downvoting my videos, comments, and people just starting to get this weird idea about me that I'm all about money. I didn't say anything. I just continued on my way. I left a comment on his video, and I just freaking kept making Star Wars content. More what ifs, kept on the comics, all that stuff, which I'm going to be going back to. I stayed in my...
I also will be doing that. I'm going to be doing more comic stuff because I'm just kind of getting tired of all the hatred and sadness. I made a post about this on my page, but I'm just getting tired of all this, the depressing comments about Star Wars and regarding the Star Wars, fan base at this point.
my lane, and I kept to the truth of what my channel was there for, which is just to talk about George Lucas Star Wars and what I enjoyed about it. So here's this message from an anonymous source, and they'll remain anonymous. So I'm at Star Wars Theory, says Alex, and he's really nice. So damn it, I like him now, and I at least understand him a little more. F, they say. When and how and why the smack talk. Details. He says EA event today. Smack talk is just because I've talked shit about him in the past, or his channel and content anyway. But he was really, really nice.
Just admits to
And
it
he
right
has
there.
like the same anxieties about his channel as we all do. and he is perplexed by Stupendous Wave. Lol. So it just humanized him, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't even really be jealous of you anymore. I get it. Also, sounds like he works crazy hard. Wow, says the anonymous source. And there's more to the message. There's a lot more messages like this with him and other people. And it's just disgusting. And it just reinforces more and more of just the kind of bullying that I've had to deal with for the last 8 years. And look, I'm not going to give you guys my life story here, but I was bullied my entire life. From being sick and being on chemo and like my parents being pretty overprotective. I had the nickname Band-Aid in school because I had no immune system really. And so, anytime there was a cut, anyways, man, I was just bullied a lot. School was not a fun time for me. And so I've learned to kind of just like deflect it and deal with it and be like, whatever, and just continue on because I know it's there and I know it exists. And this propelled me to, want to build muscles and go to the gym and learn to fight and this and that and all that stuff. And it also propelled me to fall deeper and deeper into love with Star Wars. And so when I started my channel, I just freaking had like 20 plus years of like lore and theories and stuff. And it all just kind of vomited out, and I made videos, and it just it was just marinating in my head for like over 20 plus years, and I just, people liked it.
I think that's a beautiful thing with Star Wars fans in general, and I think more recently it's been harder to just resonate with Star Wars fans. I don't know what it is. I really can't pinpoint it. No one really can. But the feeling of watching Star Wars growing up with my friends and having conversations around Star Wars. And even when Star Wars Theory first started his channel, there was this feeling, and I don't know if it was an emotion or what the feeling was, but it was just different. It was just different. That's the only thing I can really explain. His theories were awesome, and he still makes good videos, in my opinion. I still watch him a lot, but I think that back then, maybe 2016 even, there was this mysteriousness of what were the new movies going to be like, and he was starting to answer questions before they were even coming out. And it was just a lot of fun watching his content 2016, going into the movies and watching them. Rian Johnson with The Last Jedi, I'm so past that at this point that it doesn't really even bother me anymore. I like what I like in Star Wars, and I will continue to talk about what I like. But I just wanted to say is like, there was this resonation with a lot of Star Wars fans, and I felt like growing up, a lot of Star Wars fans that I knew, or a lot of my friends that were big fans into Star Wars, like, it was a whole different sort of passion for it. And it was unmatched. There was nothing else like it. There were things that tried, but there was nothing like being a Star Wars fan.
What can I say? Am I at fault for that? I don't know. Maybe that's karma for me having to deal with a shitty-ass childhood in school and all that. I don't know, dude. Whatever, man. Don't hate me just because I've made content people like. Anyway, so, Eckhart's Ladder and another Star Wars content creator you may or may not know of, who's pretty big, and we were friends, and then we fell out of touch, and now we're talking again. And now Stupendous Wave and I are sharing each other's numbers, and we're, like, going to talk to each other, and we're thinking of starting a Star Wars podcast together, which would be pretty freaking cool, because I couldn't really think of a better person to talk Star Wars with than the other largest Star Wars channel on the face of the planet. And the OG.
Yeah, and he knows a lot about Star Wars too.
Understands all the shit that I went through because Alex was sending the same kind of garbage and vitriol and jealousy and bullying his way too. And he comes to my aid in a lot of these messages, and he finds it to be just absolutely disgusting. And so, Stupendous Wave, buddy, I can't wait until we link up and we make something happen here. Eckhart's Ladder, can't wait till we link up and make something happen too. Maybe the three of us can come together and even make some sort of a cool podcast.
That would be really cool.
Anyways,
I think that'd be really cool.
Damon has apparently replied to all of this, and it's just as you would expect. Let's check it out, shall we? I'm not surprised, man. I mean, if you guys are surprised, welcome to the last 8 years.
So this is the response portion of it all from Molly Damon.
Thank you for all the love and support over the past few days. Love and support of a bully? Someone who's been bullying someone for... Wild, man. It really means a lot. I never started any sort of campaign. I just agreed with and shared 2 images that were created and shared first by another podcast, who I guess wants to remain anonymous in all of this.
Time to abandon ship.
How could you remain anonymous if you posted it publicly on a podcast?
The minute you corroborated in trying to deplatform someone and literally strip them of their ability to live take away their livelihood, end them because you didn't agree with them on a show. If you want to talk about the boys
That's a
being
good point.
racist and this and that, they can handle that on their own. And I've talked about that many times, and they can take you to court for defamation or whatever. And you want to lump me in there too and try to, like, because of your pure hatred for me for so many years, because I was successful, you're literally agreeing to the fact that, yes, you did indeed support deplatforming someone, me, but you didn't write it, and someone else wants to remain anonymous. Well, that's someone else. Doesn't matter who they are because you were part of it. And you being literally the poster girl of this simply because of your name and your notoriety and the size of your Star Wars channel. And you've also been in huge support of the campaign leading to destroy Gina Carano's livelihood and reputation by taking her job away and having her fired.
That's something I actually didn't know about before I watched this video. I didn't realize that Molly Damon and Star Wars Explained as a whole, I think, her and her husband run the channel together, but they were both kind of a part of, they didn't want Gina Carano to be a part of the Star Wars universe anymore. And that was a big thing too at the time.
Let's not forget, these people were part of that. They were in support of that. This is the name of their freaking game, man. They don't like you. They try to take everything you have and destroy you. Let's dig a little deeper, shall we? Who is this rewriting Ripley pod? Informal Majesty. Interesting. Let's go ahead and click on that and then click on this. I don't even know who this person is, but seems like they have something to say about me. Star Wars Theory knows Molly Damon didn't start any demands on YouTube last week.
Yeah, proof is in the pudding there. I mean, she posted this.
Content creators will turn to profitable hate campaigns if this behavior is permitted to continue with no repercussions. Other YouTubers involved have a timeline of the tweets. They know who tweeted first. So is this like a race? Am I supposed to go after the person who like tweeted half a millisecond before, or how does this work? I think, just like the Kiadi Mundi birthday
Horrible
thing,
scene.
we're kind of missing the whole point, or maybe you're just trying to
So
derail
funny.
the whole thing to help yourself out. Trying to deplatform me and take away everything I've worked for is one thing.
You fool!
But the 8 years of bullying and jealousy and being just an overall asshole to me is another thing. So just like you used Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers as a scapegoat to then launch an attack on me all those years ago in your This Week in Clickbait bullshit, which you made merch from and tried to laugh at me always, this is now my response to that 8 years in the making. So now we got two things. We got the thing that you've been bugging me about. You've been literally punching down on me for 8 years simply for doing my thing and I guess being successful. And that is up to people. That I can't do that myself. And believe if people could do that, I'm sure you guys would be kings of the universe because you would deem it so. Because they want to destroy me. They've been wanting to destroy me forever, since inception. The receipts are all there. They did the same thing to Stupendous Wave, and you can go and look at that, and you can ask him too, and maybe him and I will talk about it if we do our podcast, or maybe we'll just have a good laugh behind closed doors. As explained, refuses to take responsibility and instead plays the victim. However, by admitting she participated in the campaign to deplatform channels, she's only tied herself to even more. How about an apology, Molly? Hey? Am I not a person? Just because I make money, does that mean I'm not a person?
Hello, I like money.
Just because I get views that keep Alex up at night?
Okay, that's
Not a
insane.
person? Yeah. Here we go.
Backstory on that is basically her husband, Alex, that runs the account, her and her husband both. He basically told Star Wars Theory in messages, it was either messages or it was in person, but essentially that he couldn't sleep because Star Wars Theory was basically so good at his job on YouTube. And he couldn't sleep because he wanted to make content that was at least as good as Star Wars Theories and grow as much as he was. And his wife, Molly, had to basically cuddle him back to sleep. So that's what he's referring to there.
Go. Mary Sue, the same person who interviewed Leslie Headland that I did a reaction of, who then started to body shame me and say I have no riz. I mean, it was like the most strange comment and reply I've ever seen to her being angry that
I will say Star Wars Theory
to
deals
her
with a lot of
interview
shit
with
from
Leslie
people.
Headland. It was insane. Imagine if it was reversed. Written by Rachel Leischman, the ultimate fake geek girl, says master of the TDS. I agree. The damage control for Star Wars Explained is in full swing, and somehow they still believe they're the victims. Molly is even celebrating the fact that someone has blocked Star Wars Theory despite admitting they have no idea what actually is happening. Here's the thing. Let me
Yeah,
just
it's a
put it
big
in the
no-no.
notes. Guy creates YouTube channel about Star Wars. Other Star Wars channel who was there years before sees Guy's success, tries to learn from him and see if he's doing anything special, realizes it's just hard work and he's more creative or whatever. Guy literally launches attack after attack after attack and bullies him for 8 years. Behind closed doors, online, then apologizes, then does it again, then apologizes and does it again. And here we go. When he stopped doing it because he's so sackless, his wife does it. I wouldn't be surprised if his wife was behind this the whole entire time. The guy is just being manipulated. I don't know. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors there. That's not my business. I have no idea what the hell is going on in the fandom, and that's okay. I don't want to know, but I love Star Wars Explained and Molly Damon. They are super special people and run a fantastic YouTube channel. Thank you. Best to stay out of it. Trust me, lol. Yeah. Hey,
I mean,
hey,
she
Daniel,
started
you
it.
don't want to know the truth about the people that you think are so great. They've actually been absolute bullies for the last 8 years to me for no apparent reason. And if anyone disagrees with them, they will immediately call them a racist. And if that doesn't work, then they're going to try and take away their livelihood and pull the plug so they die. So then here's some more Star Wars Explained supporters, I believe. I'm going to be real, guys. I think Star Wars Theory should do what Hannah Baker did and the Tub Razor.
I'm gonna skip the rest of this part just because it's pretty sensitive topic matter for people that are watching my video. I mean, you can go to Star Wars Series video and watch it. I do not support this at all. The fact that people even talk like this just blows my mind. The fact that people hate Star Wars Theory this much that they want him to essentially do these things to himself. It's one thing to say, I wish a guy would delete his channel, but it's another thing to say things like this. And this is the stuff that makes Star Wars fans look bad. Like, this is the stuff that makes people not want to interact with the fandom because, I might make this video in support of Star Wars Theory and someone might respond to me this way. Fortunately, I'm not even a big channel, so who really cares my opinion? But I do think shit like this has to stop. And this is the stuff that should be getting deplatformed. It's not the things that Star Wars Theory says on his channel about, oh, I didn't like the Acolyte. I mean, essentially telling someone to off themselves is the most disrespectful, gross thing that you can even consider for a human to say. I would never say something like this. I don't know how this goes through people's heads that, even the people that you don't like in your life, how you can even think these types of things. And therefore, use your thumbs to write them on Twitter and actually post them. It blows my mind. And, this is the stuff, again, that needs to be deplatformed. This stuff needs to be flagged down and their accounts need to be deleted. And I don't get how people get away with this stuff. And yet these people saying these things to him about offing himself are the ones that want him to be deplatformed. So it's a little ironic here that the supporters of him being deplatformed are telling him to essentially do this. And overall, it's sad. It says more about their character than anything.
The new Star Wars Theory video is insane and disgusting. He exposes private emails between him and Star Wars. Nothing was private there, bro. It was him just trying to get information on what's making me get so many subscribers because that's all he cares about. He doesn't give a shit. You would think if someone actually really is so infatuated with Star Wars and they're getting flown out to red carpet premieres, they're getting early access to the video games, they're getting exclusive interviews with the directors, the writers, authors, and they're getting all this free swag. They meet Dave Filoni. They meet all these people. They get to go to Lucasfilm Studios headquarters and do cool stuff.
Then there's me at the bottom of the totem pole here. I don't get to do anything cool. I don't make money off YouTube, but I do it for fun.
You would think that they wouldn't even spend time on
I love Star
anyone
Wars,
else because they're winning. But alas, it is not about that for them. They don't care. They want the views, they want the subscribers, and they want the money, in my opinion. All you need to know, too, is most likely Nia has a personality disorder because he released years of personal emails between himself and Alex as a form of punishment, lol. Now, I released that so people would believe me when I'm talking about my claims. It's something called receipts. It's having proof. Unlike what these people do, they just call you a racist and try to get you deplatformed. So
I also think I would rather the chats be kind of exposed, in my opinion, rather than him just hide behind a wall and say nothing. I mean, he has to defend himself in some sort of respect, and I don't really know how you expect him to do that without putting out the chats between him and the guy that started this. It's very clear, I think his name is Alex, the guy from Star Wars Explained. It's very clear that he obviously has some sort of obsession with Star Wars Theory's channel and the success Star Wars Theory has had. And he's tried to replicate it, and he's even asked Star Wars Theory and the receipts that we could read how to do it. And all he's done, from what I've seen in Star Wars Theory's replies, is give him some, ideas and things that he's done that works and things he's done that doesn't work. And that's what I've seen from the receipts. And I think it's more dangerous for him to just not say anything than to release a couple messages that didn't really have anything harmful in them, in my opinion. And also, if you're going to try to deplatform somebody, you have to be expecting someone that has talked to you in the past to explain their side of the story with their reactions with you. So that's my opinion on that.
I show my receipts that this person was doing this and this to me for years, and here are the receipts from the very beginning to show you, and in the years following to show the trend of their manipulation and their jealousy and envy. And in the end, after 8 years of trying to cancel me, defame me, lie about me, and essentially just make me out to be a really piece of shit person and only cares about views, they realized that failed, and then they tried to take away all of my livelihood, everything that I worked hard for, by a coordinated attack to pull the plug. I mean, imagine you guys, a lot of you have a craft or a job or a hobby or a career.
For me, it's the same thing, Star Wars.
And imagine you have this mosquito that's constantly flying around, and this mosquito talks. And it goes around telling all these other people that you are such a bad person and you are this and that and the other thing. And when that doesn't work, they then try to take everything from you. Imagine what Nia does to his partner. Oof. These people are
saying stuff like that is horrible.
From a soul. They're so far from anything that's just holy.
It's actually horrible.
They're so full of hatred and anger, and it's blinded them. They really think that they are the good guys, and they have zero self-awareness. They have an unbelievable amount of hubris, and it's destroying them, and it will continue to. And they will continue to try and take me down for years, man, when I just want to make Star Wars content. I just want to engage with my community. I don't want to talk about this idiot. I don't want to talk about these people. But finally, at the end, after 8 years, man, you're literally trying to kill me. You're trying to suffocate me. You're trying to take away everything I've worked for. And I'm not going to let that happen. I've had this on the back burner. At any moment, I could have released this, and I never did. But you bit off more than you could chew on this one. And believe me, all the other people that support him, all those other people I've collaborated with in the past, I don't want to turn this channel into freaking drama channel. All right?
Your move.
So, if you guys want to read any more, you can go right ahead. You can check out a lot of Stupendous Waves replies and stuff. He's been like just so supportive, unbelievably supportive, and I can't thank him enough. It's something, then, that's what made the 90s amazing. That's what made the 2000s amazing. It's just freedom of speech, So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that this will be the last video about this. If there will be another one, believe me, there will be rest. Rest I must. Have a great day.
Yeah, so I just want to close this off a little bit by saying that the attacks, that's essentially what they are from Molly and Alex. They'll bite themselves in the ass here with this. Star Wars Theory is going to continue to grow. And they always say any type of exposure is good exposure. Star Wars Theory has defended himself pretty well here. And I think that the comments they've made, the deplatforming stuff, is not a good look. You got to try to keep things civil when you don't agree with people. That's something also Star Wars Theory has said a lot in his videos. And even if you don't agree with his opinions and stuff, and sometimes I don't even agree with his opinions, but you have to stay cordial. You have to, be respectful and say things that are more respectful. I just think it's going to come and bite them in the ass. Now I think instead of deplatforming Star Wars Theory and these other people, now what they've done is essentially deplatform themselves. I'm sure we'll see in the coming days how this works out for Star Wars Explained as a channel and as a whole. They've probably destroyed their own platform here with this, and it's not really a good look. It's just not a good look. The constant bullying that we've seen from their end to Star Wars Theory, for the past 8 years that he has receipts from, and it's tough. It is tough to see in the Star Wars community, but I hope that we can all just come out of this better. I think it'd be cool if Star Wars Theory, Eckert's Ladder, Stupendous Wave do a podcast together and just talk about Star Wars. Let's bring back just the love for Star Wars in general. That's all I really care about. That's why I have passion to continue my Star Wars channels, because I love it. So that's really my overall reaction to this. I mean, I think Theory's message here is pretty self-explanatory, and he defends himself well here. I really don't think he has to defend himself at all. But the fact that he has all this proof is in the pudding. That's all I really have to say. But may the Force be with you guys. Let's just continue to build up this community together and just spread love and peace and stop spreading so much hate and angst and anger. It's really sad to see in this community from something I've loved since I was a little kid. So that's it from me, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one.